You've heard the headlines, of course, the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk on a university campus. I mean, it just immediately sent shockwaves across the nation.
Absolutely. It turned a public debate into, well, a national crisis almost instantly.
Today, we're taking a deep dive. We're looking into the 33-hour manhunt for his killer, trying to uncover Tyler Robinson's, surprising background.
And unpacking the complex motives authorities believe drove him to this unthinkable act. We've gathered all the key sources, research notes, trying to give you the clearest picture possible.
Yeah, it's a story that really brings together meticulous police work, a trail of digital footprints.
In a profound, really agonizing family dilemma. It all converged to solve this case with what many are calling, historic speed.
Our mission today is to go beyond just the initial news cycle. We want to help you understand the deeper layers here.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's set the scene for you. It was September 10th, 2025, Utah Valley University in Orem.
All right. Charlie Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, he's at his Prove Me Wrong table. Big crowd, maybe 3,000 people.
And the tragic irony, they were actually discussing gun violence.
Yeah. And then a single shot, high caliber, from a distant rooftop.
Struck Kirk in the neck. It was fatal.
The reaction was immediate. Utah Governor Spencer Cox, he quickly labeled it a political assassination.
Which kicked off this massive manhunt, right? Multi-agency.
Instantly. FBI, marshals, local police. The clock started ticking right then to find whoever did this.
So let's zoom back to that moment. Kirk's fielding questions, huge crowd, then the shot.
From about 120, maybe 140 yards away, a rooftop perch.
And the videos, they went viral almost immediately. You see the horror, Kirk reaching for his neck, the blood.
Pure panic. Screams, people scattering, just chaos and terror.
A truly horrific scene gripped the whole nation.
Emergency services rushed him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. But, tragically, the wound was too severe.
President Trump actually announced his death publicly soon after.
Which just underscored the national significance,
So, the investigation. How quickly did law enforcement mobilize? Where did they even start?
The response was immediate and just overwhelming. FBI, U.S. Marshals, local Utah agencies. They descended on UVU, locked it down.
First priority must have been the crime scene, that rooftop.
Exactly, the sniper's approach. And that yielded some crucial trace evidence right away. Things like a palm print, forearm imprint, a shoe impression.
Small details, but they turned out to be incredibly important.
Hugely important. And investigators also quickly figured out the suspect's likely escape route.
How did they do that?
Well, witnesses and initial sweeps indicated someone fleeing across the roof, dropping down, then running into nearby woods.
And they found the weapon pretty quickly, too, didn't they?
That's right. Along that escape route, in the woods, a Mauser .3 Euro caliber rifle. Bolt action, with a scope, powerful weapon.
Wrapped in a towel.
Wrapped in a dark towel. Critical piece of evidence.
Oh.
And at the same time, university surveillance footage.
Right.
That became invaluable.
What did the cameras pick up?
They tracked a gray Dodge Challenger arriving at UVU around 8:29 a.m. Then they followed the driver. Young man, maroon t-shirt, shorts, black hat, through campus.
All the way to the rooftop.
All the way to the Lucida rooftop, yeah. Around 11:52 a.m.
And the footage showed something else, something about his clothes. That suggested planning.
It provided a really crucial detail. The suspect was seen changing into darker clothes on the roofs before the shooting.
Okay.
And then changing back into his original clothes before he fled.
So, not spontaneous. A clear attempt to confuse people.
Absolutely. Calculated. Showed planning, premeditation.
But despite all the evidence, the weapon, the footage, they didn't know who it was yet.
Right. For a crucial period, his identity was unknown. That's when the FBI made a strategic move.
They released the images.
Exactly. Surveillance images, video clips of the person of interest. Put it out to the public. Offered a big reward, too, $100,000.
Did that work? Did the tips pour in?
Oh, they were flooded. Over 11,000 tips came in. But interestingly, none of those directly identified the suspect.
But releasing the images did have a decisive effect, just not in the way they expected.
Exactly, an unintended consequence. It led the investigation right into the suspect's own home.
Which is where this becomes just an agonizing story.
It really is, almost like a modern tragedy. Matt Robinson, a 27-year veteran, Washington County Sheriff's Department, he sees those images.
And recognizes his son, Tyler.
Yeah, imagine that moment, a lawman, a father, facing the fact his son might be the assassin.
The weight of that choice. It's almost unimaginable. What happened then inside the home?
Well, Matt confronted Tyler, and Tyler allegedly admitted, yes, that was him in the photos.
Wow.
But then the situation escalated. Tyler refused to surrender. Reportedly threatened suicide rather than be taken. A desperate standoff.
How did they resolve it?
The family made a critical move. They reached out to their youth pastor, someone Tyler trusted.
And this pastor had connections.
He did. He also worked as a court security officer and was part of a U.S. Marshals fugitive task force. So he understood both sides.
So this wasn't some dramatic raid. It was dialogue, trust.
Absolutely. The pastor and the father, they worked together, de-escalated things, calmed Tyler down.
And arranged a peaceful surrender.
The pastor used his connections. Around 10 p.m. on September 11th, U.S. Marshals took Tyler Robinson into custody in Washington County.
Just 33 hours after the shooting. Incredible speed.
It really was. President Trump announced the arrest first. Then Governor Cox and FBI Director Kash Patel held a formal press conference named Tyler Robinson.
And they praised the speed, called it historic. Governor Cox specifically thanked the family, didn't he?
He did. For doing the right thing, highlighting that immense burden, the courage of a father torn between duty and love.
It really underscores the human drama behind the headline.
It wasn't just an investigative win. It was a testament to the moral courage of that family.
Okay, let's try to unpack who Tyler Robinson actually was, because the picture that emerged, it's full of contradictions.
Right. Tyler James Robinson, 22 years old, from Washington, Utah. On the surface, his life seemed, well, unremarkable middle-class normalcy, as one report put it.
Neighbors said he was respectful and quiet, smart.
Yeah, aced his ECTs, got a full ride to university, apparently.
Family social media showed a close-knit household, vacations, proud posts about school.
And public records. Registered to vote, but no party affiliation. No obvious signs of intense political engagement.
So what was hiding beneath that surface?
Well, that public image clashes dramatically with the person who carried out this act. I mean, this was someone who drove over 3 hours, 260 miles.
From a nice family home.
A $600,000 home, yeah. He scouted the campus, found the sniper spot, brought that high-powered rifle.
And the engraved ammunition. We'll get to that.
Right. It points to this deeply fractured identity, where intense radicalization can seemingly brew under a surface of complete normalcy, almost invisible.
That's deeply unsettling. What else do we know about his background, his family, his education?
Well, the family's embedded in the community.
Yeah.
Father, Matt, the sheriff's veteran. His mother, Amber, works for a company involved in disabled care.
He's the oldest of 3 brothers.
Yes. And his education. It was promising, but maybe a bit disjointed. He had college credits from Utah Tech, did a semester at Utah State on scholarship back in 2021.
And then he was in an apprenticeship program.
Right, a third-year electrical apprenticeship at Dixie Technical College. So a life in transition, maybe, but nothing there screams future assassin. No obvious clues to that alleged ideological path.
So if his public life seemed so normal, how did investigators really nail down his involvement and start to understand the why? That brings us to the digital evidence.
Yeah, the digital ghost and what you call the manifesto in miniature. The big breakthrough here, believe it or not, came from his own roommate.
His roommate.
After the family alerted authorities, investigators talked to the roommate. And the roommate gave them access to Tyler's Discord messages.
Discord, that online chat platform, popular with gamers.
Exactly. Often less moderated than, say, Facebook. Communities form around specific interests. Anyway, the roommate let investigators photograph the screen.
And the messages.
They found messages from a contact named Tyler. And they lined up perfectly with the crime details, talking about getting a rifle from a drop point.
Wow.
Leaving it wrapped in a towel in a bush, watching the area, mentioning the rifle's unique scope, and chillingly talking about engraving the billets.
A digital confession, basically, backing up all the physical evidence.
In stunning detail.
Okay, let's talk about those engravings. Messages on metal. What did they find on the bullet casings?
This gives maybe the most visceral insight into his mindset. It wasn't random graffiti. It was deliberate, premeditated, infusing murder with ideology.
What were the messages?
They found one spent casing, 3 unfired rounds, each unique. One said, "Hey, fascist, catch," with arrow symbols.
Unambiguous, labeling Kirk a fascist, framing it as anti-fascist violence.
Clearly political. Another had lyrics from Bella Ciao. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao.
The Italian anti-fascist anthem from World War II.
Right. Further cementing that political motive.
But then there were other messages, totally different, jarringly different.
Exactly. Stark contrast. 2 other inscriptions were, quote, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
LMAO, laughing my ass off.
Yeah, common internet slang.
Oh.
And the other was, "Notices bulges OWO. What's this?"
OWO. Like the emoticon. From furry communities in gaming.
Precisely. Drawn directly from that internet meme and gaming culture vernacular.
So what does that mix tell us? Political slogans next to internet troll slang?
It reveals this really strange hybrid ideology, forged not in traditional political meetings, but in what some call the chaotic crucible of online subcultures.
It's a blend. Sincere, violent extremism mixed with, what? Detached, nihilistic, performative irony.
That's a good way to put it. Like a terminally online troll. The bullets weren't just bullets. They were a kind of miniature manifesto of this uniquely modern radicalization.
And that blend makes it harder to spot, doesn't it? The irony can mask the real threat.
Absolutely. It's a critical insight. That detached online persona can hide, maybe even fuel, real-world violence, making warning signs incredibly hard for people around them to see.
Which brings us back to the why. Authorities treated it as political from the start, and the evidence seems to confirm that. What else did they learn about his radicalization?
Well, the most direct evidence, again, comes from his family. A family member told investigators Tyler had become more political in recent years.
Did they give specifics?
Yes. They mentioned a family dinner shortly before the assassination. Robinson brought up Kirk coming to UVU. He and another family member, apparently, talk about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints he had.
And Robinson described Kirk how?
As being full of hate and spreading hate.
That lines up directly with the "hey fascist" catch bullet. Shows premeditation, a strong negative view.
Definitely. But what's striking is, while we see the political hatred and the who Tyler Robinson, how he got to that point, that's still murky.
His family saw a shift but didn't expect violence.
Relatives said they never expected it. It suggests a rapid, intense radicalization process, transforming private opinions into deadly action. That's often the hallmark of a lone actor extremist.
And these private online spaces can accelerate that, hidden from view.
They absolutely can.
Now, to understand the animosity, we do need to touch on Charlie Kirk's public role impartially. He was undeniably polarizing.
Very much so. Co-founder of TPUSA, key figure in the MAGA movement. His ideology, as sources describe it, was rooted in the culture wars.
Advocating Christian nationalism, often targeting minority groups with rhetoric, things like the Great Replacement theory, comments critics called Islamophobic or homophobic.
Right. He also challenged ideas like systemic racism, called white privilege or racist idea. His whole prove me wrong format was inherently confrontational, designed for debate, conflict, viral moments.
Seen by supporters as free speech, by critics as provocative, understanding that very public contentious persona is key context here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And tragically, one of the last things he discussed was gun violence. He was known for an uncompromising pro-Second Amendment stance.
So, wrapping this up, this deep dive covers a 33-hour manhunt, yes, but also a profound human drama.
A tragedy born from intense political hate, but solved ultimately through an incredible act of family duty.
Tyler Robinson's story. It's a chilling case study for all of us, isn't it? Quiet young man, stable family background, yet allegedly harboring this intense hatred leading to a planned assassination.
It shows how hidden the path to violent extremism can be. Few outward signs, maybe, until it's far too late.
Governor Cox called it a watershed in American history, forcing us to confront political violence, deep divisions.
The power of online subcultures to amplify extremism and the availability of these high-powered weapons, it all comes together here.
Robinson is held without bail now, facing aggravated murder charges at the state level. That could mean the death penalty. Federal charges are also expected.
Yeah, both Governor Cox and former President Trump have indicated support for seeking the death penalty.
This whole case leaves us with a really disturbing question, one for you, our listener, to think about. How do we, as a society, even begin to identify the subtle signs of this kind of hidden radicalization?
Especially when it mixes sincere extremism with that attached, ironic, often toxic online culture. How do we spot it before it spills into horrific, real-world violence?
What responsibility do we all share in navigating this incredibly complex landscape of information, influence, and ideology?